Howdy. I'm Ryan Maker 238, and if you're new to my channel, hopefully by the end of it I've earned your subscription. So what are we doing today? We're going to be making some Christmas presents. I have recently joined Pinterest, and I have found the most adorable welding projects. And so if you're new to welding, this is an excellent opportunity for you to get some practice in at welding. And if you're an experienced welder, this is a great opportunity for you to make some gifts and give them away and make somebody happy. I mean, you can dress them up really nice and shiny, put them on the inside, put them on the outside or in the yard. You know, they're just, how cool, you know, cute little thing. So why don't we get over to the chop saw and we'll get chopped up, get our pieces together, and we'll get to welding. I'll kind of show you how I put it together. It's pretty easy, nice little fun project. I'll meet you all over there. Alrighty. You know, when you're making your master cut, you know, I'm doing 8 of each, but you get what I'm saying. You're gonna do 4 legs at 3 inches, 1 body at 5 inch, 1 neck at 3 inch, and 1 head at 2 1/4. I like 2 1/4 just because it brings the snout out just a little bit more, kind of gives some definition. But you can play with it, you know, as you're putting them together, kind of play with it. But I've got to get 40 at 3 inches. And so the cool trick that I was going to show you about my my stop here is that once I can take my piece of stock and I put it into my little chop saw here, it's going to be hard for me to do it one-handed. So let me set you guys down and then I'll show you. Alright, I take it, I put my stock in. It's kind of hard because I don't have one of the, oh, I'm probably yelling. My face is right next to the camera. Sorry. But I'll take it. I'll get however much I need sticking out, which I'm going to go ahead and do the big batch of them, which is the body. No, the legs. Body. So I need 40 at 3 inches. So I'll take wherever the saw comes down. That should be 3 or close. That's the cool thing about little art and metalworking, is that you can kind of, it don't have to be precise like woodworking. That is 3 inches. Then you get you one of these magnetic 90 degrees welding table helper outers, and you put that right there, and you put that on. Now, if you see how I'm shaking y'all, if this is attached to the table and this is attached to the table, no matter how many times I put it in there, I hit this part right here, and it's going to be 3 inches. So I'm going to do all this a whole heap of times. Y'all sit back, relax. I'll probably time lapse it, and so it's going to get sparky. Make sure you wear your eye goggles, and make sure you have on your safety shoes, upgraded. I got the, actually, I need to go back. These are my going to town Crocs. I don't need to wear those in the shop. So anyway, I'm going to do that. Y'all sit back, and we will come back when we've got some stuff cut. Isn't that right, Mr. Reindeer?
That's right. I'm so excited to get some fruits.
Okay, all right, we'll come back. Well, that stuff sure does generate a lot of dust. I need to get one of those metal cutting. Evolution, I think, has one. I've got the handheld one, but, you know, the chop saw one. Anyway, well, we've got all our pieces cut up. Let me take a look at them here. What does that say? Subscribe. Oh, God. Well, we got all our pieces cut out. These are all of the 3-inch pieces. These are hot. These are the 2 1/4. Then we got our 5. These are still a little warm, too. Yeah, so we got check, 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 check. The only other thing I didn't tell y'all to do is you got to have a little bitty tail. A little bitty tail right there. So make sure you cut a couple of those, and I just use some a little bit smaller stock here. Yeah, so we're going to get to welding, get it laid out, get it jigged up. I don't know, something like that. That look good? So we'll get a bunch of those laid out on the table, and I'll come through and weld them all. And then we'll shoot you on forward. I've got the benefit of already having one made. So basically, I just laid it out. And I just matched it up with the first one that I made. But if y'all decide that you want to make one, when you go to lay it out on the table, just, you know, use your eye chronometer. Whatever looks good is probably going to work. Remember, you're making it. There's no Lego instruction guide to go by. So yeah, sit back. I'm gonna weld a little one. I'm not gonna do it on time lapse just because I think it's so cool to hear welding when it goes off. It's kind of like sizzling bacon. But it's good practice to get you, if you're MIG welding, get you a little MIG set of MIG pliers. And what those are is you get you a nice clean wire each time. Make sure you brush it off every now and then. Alright. I've got it grounded to the table underneath through a vise. And that's also in contact with the tabletop here, so that's why you do not see a ground lead. When I first started watching YouTube, where y'all grounding that stuff? I had no idea they had a bolt through the table. So I like to tell people if y'all don't know. What we got? Well, I got some Yes playing, so y'all sit tight. We's gonna weld. And what I do is I'll just give myself a little tack for the feet, because when I go to put my body on, that's where I'm going to execute my welds really good on the sides. And I didn't clean any of this stuff up. I'm going to weld it all together, and then I go through with a little flapper sanding disc and get it cleaned up the rest of it. So now I've got one. I just lay it out, rinse and repeat. I decided to do 6 instead of 8. I was getting tired of cutting. You know what I mean? This is probably boring. What do we do? Do we keep recording? Yeah. We'll just keep recording, I guess. Guess that's what we're doing. Oh, y'all are still here. Yep. Production work, gotta love it. Oh, we are still filming. That's because I have to press stop. So, all right, we'll come back when we got all the legs done and we're getting ready to put the body on. Or, well, I guess we could go ahead and show you what the body looks like, can't we? Yeah, we already got 1, 2, 3 done. Skip that step, that way I can bust them all out and then do the neck and the head with you guys. Just set it up like that. Actually I keep forgetting I have bought jigs for things. Yep, and then something like that. You just want to eyeball it, make sure that everything looks good. I got the front arms out a little bit stanced out like he's looking at something. So I think that'll be alright. We can take the little magnetic lead off. Look at that cute little guy. I'm glad I did it a little bit shorter. I think that's going to look a little bit better. Bow, bow. I love me some Yes. You know, I was trying to describe Yes to my daughter, my son, just like a mystical fairy tale in your ear. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I'll make several ones where the head's up, down, maybe tilted to the side. I'm gonna weld away, and we'll come back when we're doing the antlers. How's that sound? Yeah, you're. You got a bloody right to say, right? You bloody well. Alexa, pause. That there be Supertramp. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, I'm a huge Supertramp. You put, what's that, School on by Supertramp? Hot dang. Anyway, I've done these off camera. It's a new day. I just got home from work. I got all these finished up welding. All of them are different. I mean, there's not one of them that's the same. That's life in it. So, we've got now, you can mess up and go ahead and put on your antlers, and that's going to make it harder for us to go through and grind all this stuff up. Or you could have grinded it all beforehand and then put it together, and then you wouldn't have to grind so much now. But now, I like to do it all at the end. That way I'm not grinding surfaces that I don't need to. That I can see all the surfaces that I need to grind now. I don't have a belt grinder yet, because one of the main reasons why I wanted a CNC table, plasma table, is I want to try to make some tools for the shop. One of them being first a belt grinder, like a 2x72, 2x48, probably a 2x48, I'm thinking. Yeah, so I got distracted. I get excited about building tools, man. I like building tools. But I don't have one of those. What I do have is I've got a cheap Harbor Freight 1-inch belt sander that I'm going to try my hardest to do as much of it on there as I can. Any of the areas that I don't get with that, I'll get with the flap disc sander. I would do that at the beginning, but it's hard to really, it's hard to vise this. You know, put it in a vise and get all the little angles. When you go up to the belt grinder, let's say this is it, I'd be able to. See what I'm saying? So, I'm going to clean these up off camera because it's got a lot of sharp edges. I made a little fleet here of reindeer. You can leave it like this, and these would be the female, the does, or you could even make little smaller versions and have little bitty baby reindeer. I thought about, I have enough rebar, maybe, because we love watching deer. You know, as a family, we have a lot of deer around here. This guy's really like looking at something. He's like, whoa! We like looking at a lot of deer as a family. I have enough rebar. I thought about making like a bigger version of this for the yard, just something to kind of hook your peepers on. All right, I'm gonna clean this. It's a little chilly. Opened up the door because the welding fumes are really, it was really getting me. But I'm gonna clean all these up off camera, and then we will be back. Wife and kids are due home from work here before too long. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And we'll get to where we're going to make, we will get to where we are going to make the antlers. All right, y'all can skip forward a little bit, but I think it'd be cool to see if y'all can try to guess what tune this is. You ready? Hold on, let me get one. Getting it on. Nights shining dew on you. I'll be with you soon, my love. Give you my true. Oh, there's wife and kids. We'll be back. Gooberhead. Hey, baby. It's going good. How's y'all doing? I've already made up a bunch of these off camera because, you know, once you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. But, you know, you just play around with what shape you want it to be. On the original one, I did 2 of the little 1-inch deals, and I just did 1 on this one. I drew me some chalk lines on the table, and I just snipped them all really quick. But yeah, so I just did 2 on this one, and I like it. I'm sitting here as I'm putting them together, thinking, how am I going to finish it? I'd like to build me a big old fire and put them all in here and let them get all red hot and build up like a forge scale across all of it, and then maybe spray it with a polyurethane or a lacquer or shellac, something like that, something just to kind of keep all that in there. And then another thought is that it is rebar, and rebar is rusty and nasty. What if I just got, you know, some of the big edges off and then just left it rusty colored, and then sprayed it with the finish on top of that? I think maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. You kind of play around with it, or you can paint them. Maybe paint them. I'm not painting these, but 1, I'm out of spray paint, and 2, I like the rusty color. If you ever want to get this maker a gift, I love colorful spray paint. People are asking, well, what do you want for Christmas? I want a bunch of different color spray paint. Or, you know, I can paint all kinds of stuff with it. Huh? Alright, so sidetrack. We're going to weld that. This is a good opportunity for me to bust out the TIG welder. I've never used it, but I have one, but I've never used it. But I'm not going to do that now. Because TIG weld, you know, you've got that tungsten tip. It just gets really hot. You can melt them together, kind of like hot glue. So we're just going to do it like this on the table. I just kind of spread it the way that I like it. And I'll put me a little hand on it. Beep. Contact. You just give it one of those. Check out the back side. It needs a little dot on the back. Oh. Sorry. Sorry, you don't like that. I'm supposed to do it every time. What's going on here? What's going on here? Started welding the table there for a second. Yeah. And you put the little one. You see what I'm doing. I'm gonna weld these on top of their heads and then figure out how I'm gonna finish it. And then, what you say we come right on back? How's that sound? Sound like a wiener? Sound like a wiener to me. And you just knock them out in no time. There we go. Find out which one's hot real fast. Alright, let's go over there when I've got some stuff figured out. I gotta dress this here boo-boo I got in my finger. Yep. Well, I snuck into the craft closet and I got some matte finish, and I'm all out. I didn't want to go to Lowe's, but I got them all done. What do y'all think? I'm just tickled pink, actually. I think they're just absolutely adorable. There's not one of them they're the same. They're all different, and I think that that's cool because they all have their own little stance and their own little poses, their own little personalities, really. And I want to take a second to talk about that. Making gifts it's way better than buying anything at the store. And it doesn't even have to be something big. It could be something very small. I've talked about painting rocks before, but think about that. The simplistic things that you can do, put some of you into it and then give it to somebody else. That's, you know, a meaningful gift. You know, I feel like the world lacks that. Everything is so store-bought. You know, so if you can get out there anywhere and make anything and give it to somebody, I guarantee you that person's going to feel it a lot more than if you just go to the store and buy something. These won't take you very long at all. I did these over the course of a couple days. I was a busy man, but it wouldn't take you long at all to do these. The wife saw them and she was like, we did want to do a craft fair, didn't we? I was like, yes, ma'am, we did. I think it'd be neat to make a bigger version of these. I think I might have said that at the beginning of the video, but I think that'd be really neat. I'm just as happy. As a happy maker, they all are just adorable. And so I'm going to give these away as gifts. We're going to keep this one, and I'm going to give the rest away. So maybe I gave you some inspiration. You know, if you're thinking about welding, I highly recommend it. You can buy a cheap welder. I've got a little cheap, the one that I started off on is right there. It's a little $119 Harbor Freight welder. You know, it doesn't take nothing to get started. Don't be intimidated by it, or don't be intimidated by welding, or not just necessarily welding, y'all aren't centered, but by projects in general. If there's something that you're thinking about doing, give it a shot. You know, might as well. You know, what are you going to do? I guarantee you, you're going to learn something. If you fail, you're going to learn something. If you succeed, you're going to learn something. And when you're doing it, you're going to learn something. So learning all the way around when you pick new things to do. Here's Peach. Peach! Can you say hello? So he said, Daddy, I'm trying to eat. Coming in out the rain, trying to eat. Anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. A little bit longer video than I wanted it to be. I'm not very good at making those short YouTube videos. You know, I ain't good at it. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. And if you're new, maybe I earned your subscription. And I guess until we meet again. It's always hard saying bye, isn't it? Because I really appreciate our time together, because our time is valuable and you just spent it with me. So thank you so much. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And yeah, you know, hit all that clickable stuff. Like, share, all that stuff. So I guess we're gonna leave, right, Peach? Are we done? I'll see y'all later.